Sick reference though, bro.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Dude, your references are out of control. Everyone knows that.
Hey,
dude.
thanks, man.
So Ashley doesn't want to hear about this because the third movie I saw is a movie that we both were very turned off by the trailers. And that movie would be Better Man, which is that movie where there's a chimpanzee rock star.
It's the live action Sing movie.
And
it's Planet of the Apes superstar. Piss me off. Makes me mad.
Yeah, I mean, the trailers made me mad too. I'm like, who asked for this? What is this? Like, no thanks. You can keep it. You can keep it. So I not interested in this at all. To the point where Cinemark does these secret movies every once in a while, usually like at least once or twice a month. And I had a ticket to one a few weeks ago, and before going to it, I saw from online the people on the East Coast saying that it was Better Man. And I said, nope, return my ticket. I don't want to see this movie.
Yeah, good for you. Almost.
But my friend Devin did see it, and he was like, no, dude, it was actually pretty good. And like, what? He said he would see it again. So, and asked if I wanted to go. So reluctantly, I agreed to see it. This was the best biopic I've ever seen in my life.
Stop it. Enough. I'm not hearing that.
It was the best biopic I've ever seen in my life. Ever. I'm getting like teary-eyed right now because the movie got like to me emotionally. Like I cried.
Get out. Oh my God, no.
It was so
How is this possible?
freaking good. It was so good. It took me a little bit to get into it. So it is distracting.
You're emotional right now. Oh my gosh, this is real.
The movie made me emotional. I like thinking about it kind of gets me emotional. So to explain, this movie is a biopic of Robbie Williams, who I have never even heard
of. I don't know anything about. No, let me see.
I did know one of his songs in the movie, Angels. I'll be calling angels instead.
He kind of looks like the little damn monkey too.
It took me a while to get used to him being a chimpanzee, because it's kind of distracting because you're like, why is no one acknowledging that he's a chimpanzee? But they make it pretty clear that he's not really a chimpanzee. This is how he sees himself in his head.
Okay.
Is that he's always felt different than everyone else. He's always been full of energy and kind of been a little wild and attention seeking. And also just the way the music industry works is he's like a entertaining, like dancing monkey. And so this is more so just how he sees himself, and you're not supposed to be taking it literally as this is a chimpanzee interacting with. Like, no one in the movie ever acknowledges that he's a chimpanzee.
That makes a huge difference to me. A huge difference, because the trailer does not allude to that. The trailer opens with his grandma being like, "You're basically a monkey." Yeah.
So no, I think that really recontextualized. Okay,
absolutely.
This is just an abstract way to tell his story. And I actually thought it was pretty genius, because then it allowed him to play himself throughout all the different ages of his life without having to worry about like de-aging or it being kind of hokey. Just watching an actor play himself would be kind of weird and awkward to see. And by the end of it, it was like the most vulnerable, real, self-reflective biopic I've ever seen. And I think it's because it was him making it and him playing it, kind
Yeah.
of like Baby Reindeer, how Baby Reindeer is
Right.
really him and it's his story.
And it makes all the difference because of
Right.
that.
Because in other biopics, it's usually these studios exploiting on a dead musician
Yes.
and
Yeah.
getting other people's accounts to try to figure out what he was what they were going through. This was made by him. So he gives the most depth of what was going on in his head and his mind. And he does not shy away from how awful he was to people.
Gotcha.
And this is not a puff piece. This isn't like him trying to look how cool I am and stuff. It's really a movie about, at its core, about facing yourself and having to face your demons and face running away from your subconscious of who you are and trying and being haunted by yourself and till you eventually just have to face your battle yourself and own up for all your mistakes and try to be better. And that's why it's called Better Man. He's
interesting. Okay.
And
they should have had you do the trailer, because I got all the way to the end of the trailer and thought it was a Planet of the Apes part whatever.
Yes, and we were talking about this after the movie, like, because the trailers did it no justice, no favors. But it is a really hard concept to explain and put into a trailer. But I'm really not a fan of biopics in general.
Me either. Oh, God, me either.
I hate. They're just so surface level, exploitative. They all follow the same formula.
Yes.
Like, especially after seeing Walk Hard, I can't watch biopics without thinking about the wrong kid.
Every time it's the same.
Like, yes. And this one does. One of the few biopics I did like was the Elton John one, Rocketman, because they showcase his music as like as a way to show different times of his life. So it was like a musical, and this one is like that as well, where we're showcasing his music during pivotal moments of his life, but they're doing it in the most beautiful, visually stunning ways. Like, it definitely gets out of reality a bunch of times. There's one part, the imagery is just incredible. There's one part that I was just like, whoa, where it's like him drowning underwater, and all these people are grabbing at him and taking pictures, and it's almost like in Goblet of Fire when Harry's trying to get to the surface and all those little octopus things are swarming him. It was like that, but with like people and photographers, and just the way it was shot was like, wow, what an image. And they continue to do that throughout different songs.
Shocked.
And it was just so creative, so unique, very vulnerable and very human. And there was parts that, like, I was just like, oh my God, I was not expecting to be crying during this movie. And
I did not expect you to say that either. So I'm looking at the ratings right now. It is saying 88% on Rotten Tomatoes and 7.7 on IMDb. What do you think? Where are you at?
10 out of 10.
No. Oh my goodness.
It was a 10 out of 10 movie. The only thing that the only nitpicks that I could possibly have about this movie is, one, he talks about his dick a little too much.
Okay.
I'm like, this guy really likes to just like bring up his penis a lot.
It is.
But he's like a British rock
it's a
star.
monkey.
And there's a couple parts that whether are a little sexual in nature that I really like struggle with the monkey thing. Like it's like, okay,
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
he's a human, but I'm seeing bestiality. Like
Right. Right.
so
Is there any part in the movie where you see him in like a mirror? Like,
No.
are there ever? Okay, interesting.
You
I just was
never see him.
thinking like,
That's how like the end credits where they
okay.
kind of show some parts that were
Uh-huh.
portrayed in the movie, but show the real version of it. I
Got you.
didn't even know what he looked like till then. Like, so
Got
like
you.
through the movie of not even knowing what this guy looked like, by
Mhm.
the end of it, before I even knew what he looked like, I'm a fan. I'm a fan now.
Wow.
Like, I'm gonna listen to his music. I'm gonna like
Oh my goodness, this is a big deal. I don't know if you guys understand how big of a deal this is. This is a big deal.
blown away. I do not like musicals. I do not like biopics.
Mm-mm.
Like, I'm very picky on those things, and
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked by how good this movie was, and I'm so upset that the marketing is the way it is because it's bombing so bad.
Yeah, I've
Bombing
heard.
so badly. Like, I think maybe made like $1 million. Like,
Oh.
really bad. Like,
Oh, the showtimes too. It's giving me a little blip on Google that there's only one showtime per day per theater. And that's it, which
I
is a
doubt it's
big
gonna
deal.
survive this next weekend. Like,
Wow.
there's a few other people in our theater, but even the few people in theater, you could hear we were all laughing when the movie wanted us to, like, it was a fun movie.
Okay.
And I think also worthy of Oscar nominations as well.
Oh my, what is happening right now? I need a minute. I'm hearing the words that are coming out of your mouth, so I'm trying to like empathize and I'm trying to give it a chance. But like you said, the trailers just did nothing for it whatsoever.
Nope.
They
But
really just.
yes.
I was with my grandfather when we saw the trailer, and he literally. It's so funny seeing a movie in the theater with an old man because their volume is, kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
After it cuts off, after the trailer ends, he goes, "I don't think so." His immediate response to it. And I'm like, yeah, that's a pass for
I think
me.
that's how everyone felt watching it.
Mhm.
I think eventually down the road, this will become a cult classic. People will be like, "No, you need to watch this," and
Mhm.
it has to grow a fan
Mhm.
base down the road because it is such a good movie.
I can't believe that I've even come around a little bit. I was really ready to like be upset with you
Yeah.
about it forever.